Hi, I'm Gene from eLearning, and this is Weighting Grades in Blackboard's Grade Center. An essential ingredient of a good syllabus is the instructor's grading policy. One part of this policy sets out the relative weight that each component of the course has in computing the final grade. Here's an example of how components can be weighted in accordance with the instructor's view of their importance. There are several things to notice about this summary. First, the unit of measurement varies from one item to another and is actually somewhat arbitrary. Second, the instructor has reserved the right to increase the number of discussion forums held during the course, but that will have no effect on the relative importance of the category. Third, different assignments have different point values. Within this category of activity, the size of the scale does represent a greater degree of difficulty, which must be accounted for in the grading. Fourth, the instructor wishes to drop the lowest grade of the student's attempt at quizzes. The grading must account for that within this category. Fifth, there is only one midterm exam, one final exam, and one group project. They are all evaluated on scales of 100 points each, but the group project is relatively more significant in the overall grading schema, which must add up to 100%. You will notice that some items within the grading summary are represented as categories, while others are one of a kind. This is important when setting up your Blackboard Grade Center and will require you to use a weighted total grade in order to accurately represent your grading policy. Turning for a moment from the syllabus to Blackboard, I want to make one point that is key to your successful use of the Blackboard Grade Center. All gradable Blackboard activities, and many others that are add-ons to Blackboard, generate their own columns in the Grade Center. It is rare that you have to build the Grade Center in Blackboard, in other words, create your own columns. If you use the grading feature wherever available, in discussions, assignments, tests, as you set up your learning activities, the Grade Center will be gradually built for you in Blackboard. There is plenty of other work for you to do in the Grade Center, but it does not involve creating columns. Additionally, a properly designed weighted totals column can be set up long before the course is finished. You should not need to wait until your course is completed to add up your grades. If you've designed weighted totals properly, when your last activity is completed, your grading should be nearly done as well. For a comprehensive overview of the columns available in your Grade Center, go to Grade Center, Full Grade Center, and then Manage Column Organization. Here you can see all of the columns listed, can tell whether they are hidden from you, they are gray rather than black, can tell and modify the order in which they are presented to learners, as well as see and change the categories assigned to them. All Blackboard activities and some add-ons will have a default category assigned, depending on the tool through which they were created. However, you can change the categories on this screen, including setting it to no category. Let me demonstrate. While I normally sort the Grade Center by due date, here I will sort the column organization report by category. I know that Blackboard is not going to distinguish between the 6 quizzes that I'm grouping to represent 10% of the total grade and the midterm and final exams, all of them by default categorized as tests. I could, if I wanted, go to Manage Categories and create a new category for these. But since they each get a separate weighting in my calculation, I'm simply going to make these categorized by checking the box next to them and changing the category to no category. I'm going to do the same thing with the group project so that it does not share the weighting of the other assignments, which will be grouped as a category. When I'm done changing the categories, I must click on Submit in order to save the changes, otherwise they will be canceled. Returning immediately to Manage Column Organization, I must resort the Grade Center by due date, as that is how it needs to be viewed by the students in my grades and the instructors in the full Grade Center. In many courses, a weighted total column has been created but left unused. I will move this column to the front of the Grade Center. Returning to the full Grade Center view, I will hide the weighted total from the students, as it will show a very low grade until the end of the course is near, even for the best students. You'll also want to set it as the external grade so that Wiser knows this is the column to upload at the end of the semester. Then click the arrow to the right of the column header and select Edit Column Information. Make sure the primary display is set to UMB letter, since a letter grade is required for uploading to Wiser. You can make this visible to students after you've finished grading all course activity. Secondary display is optional. Students can't see these anyway, but I like to set it to percentage to see how close students get to the next highest letter grade. The next area is the selected columns. Here is where you will assign the 3 columns and the 3 categories according to the specifications in the chart I showed earlier, visible in the upper right of your screen. If you've done everything correctly, your total weight, as shown at the bottom of the selected columns and categories, should equal 100. First, we set the percentage values for the 3 individual items. Final exam 15%, group project 20%, and midterm examination also 15%. Then we proceed to the categories. Assignments, 5 to 15% each, worth 25%. And we weight the columns proportionally because some assignments are worth more than others. Next, we weight the tests or quizzes. These are worth 10%, but we've agreed to also drop the lowest grade. And finally, we weight the discussion category. These are worth a total of 15%. Your total weight, as shown at the bottom of the selected columns and categories, should equal 100%. Lastly, be sure to set Calculate as a running total to No. Blackboard has set this by default to Yes. If you leave this setting as it is, all empty columns would be excluded from the total, which would greatly overstate the final grade for some students, so be sure to select No. Click Submit and your weighted total column is complete. It should also accurately reflect the intent you had when you developed your grading policy in the syllabus. I hope you found this presentation useful. For further assistance, you can visit our website, elearning.umb.edu.